Hello. Hello. I think we're live. Are we live yet on YouTube? Welcome back to the O Show. Today we are going to talk about Trump getting caught in a lie when it has to do with tariffs, plus XRP, Hedera news, Bitcoin news, because we finally broke into that range that we kind of like needed to break into, which is really, really good. But unfortunately, with this range, the way that it is, people are still going to be salty. People are still going to be mad. And yes, I actually do read all of the comments you guys leave me on the videos. And one of the biggest things that I'm getting, you guys are so pressed because altcoin price is not moving up. Altcoin price is not moving up, and a lot of you guys are pressed. And I'm in shock. I'm in absolute shock. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about it, okay? Also, too, I'm having a very, very hard time with the recent death that I kind of told you guys a little bit about. Yesterday was really, really, really hard. So today I might have to end the stream abruptly, and it might be this way for the next 2 weeks, just because I'm having a really, really hard time. This person was very, very, very close to me at one point in my life. Very close with my sisters, like a big brother to them. So if I like just start crying and I leave, it's not you guys, it's me. And I'm just trying to process and deal with my emotions properly, which is a really weird thing. And the funeral's next Friday. I wasn't going to go, but I do need to go, I think, and like grieve like a normal person, because I don't do that. Anyways, I've experienced so many deaths in my life. It's just weird, like really, really weird. I'll probably do like a story time about that to where you guys can really understand what I'm talking about, because I think my situation is a little bit unique in that aspect. Because between me and my sisters, like it's just consistent death, like 24/7. Like every month we know somebody that passes away since like we were kids. But anyways, we're here. It's Friday. Happy Friday to everybody. And before we get started, because there's a lot to talk about. I want to remind you guys that Bitcoin 2025 is coming up. It is literally less than a month away. They raise prices consistently. Okay, consistently before the event, because it's such a hyped up event. I had the guys on my show. They talked about this event is going to be bigger than last event. We don't really know. There's a lot of really cool people going. I don't know if Trump's coming again. I don't know what the deal is, but I'm going to be there. Altcoin Daily is going to be there. If you guys are interested, please use my code. If you use code WendyO, you save 10% off. And I highly recommend you do that if you are interested in going. It's going to be a great, 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 great time. Why is this all dark over here? What the heck is going on with YouTube? Anyways, I've also posted the ref link in the chat, and I pinned it to the top. So if you guys are interested, please use my ref link. That would help me. If not, no worries. Okay, fine, wonderful, fine, fantastic. But yeah, you guys should go. And if you don't end up going to the conference, you should go and head to the side event. Seriously, you're going to learn a lot. The best thing you can do in this industry to actually make it is network. A lot of people don't understand that. They don't think that. And networking and meeting people in person is going to do wonders for you. It's going to help you become better, well-versed in the industry. And there's a lot of opportunities in the space, a lot of opportunities in the space. So go network. It's in Vegas. It's a fun time. Use my code WendyO to save 10% off. Anyways, let's get into the news, because lots of stuff happening. Okay, a lot of stuff. So first and foremost, the market is in green. The market's in green. Okay, these are not altcoin season type of price gains like in the last 24 hours. Trump is up 11%, Jupe, Sui, WIF, HNT Healing. And I think they had a really big announcement. I have to double check. Floki, congratulations, the Floki community. They're probably one of the top meme coins in the space. And they're a really great example of how you can successfully CTO a meme coin and actually build valid utility. They're one of my favorite projects to utilize as an example of how to do things. So if you like meme coins, check them out. There's Dogecoin, whatever it is. I'm not telling you to buy anything. We don't tell you people to buy anything ever. But at the same time, you should pay attention to stuff that's actually building and working. And I'm also going to remind you, projects that have RWAs, DeFi, and AI, pay attention to those. Continue to pay attention to those. Those are going to do incredibly well, in my personal opinion. AI is not going anywhere anytime soon at all. It's going to continue to grow and get bigger. So the sooner you get in and you understand how to use it to your benefit, the better quality of life you have. And I have to start talking about this with Lo. It's really important. But anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at the first story, and then we will get into the other things over here. This comes from ARK investment. Bitcoin could surge to 2.4 million by 2030. ARK Invest new price prediction reveals. And this is from being in crypto. So, and this is the thing. We're trading right now. If we take a look at Bitcoin, I'm going to pull up this chart for you just because of the range that we're in. We are trading at almost $95,000. Okay. We are now in the range of hell. The range of hell, let me explain to you what this means. So last cycle, I started posting charts like this with really interesting captions in between for important areas of support and resistance because it keeps people entertained. And these are really, if you're somebody that's long-term holding and you're not really actively trading, which if you are actively trading, you should use my ref link down below to sign up over at FEMX. They accept everybody, not your keys, not your coins, no need to use high leverage. And they're giving, I think, up to $1,800 away per person. Anyways, with that being said, if you're somebody who's not actively trading like crazy, you really just need to pay attention to the important areas of support and resistance. This is going to help you a lot with altcoins. It's really going to kind of help you really at the end of the day, understand what's going on with the market and not get too stressed out. Now, the reason why I called this area the hopium level is because this was an important range back in November of 2024 before we broke out and then we hit all-time highs. So this is established area of history. Now, this area over here, the range of hell, with all this consolidation we see back and forth, to break all-time high, we need to rocket above $110,000. So unless we're getting big candles like this, that are 87 to about 90, 94, almost like 7, 8K candles. I have an itch on my leg. I think I got bit. But people are there's going to be a lot of stuff happening. And really all we need to do is kind of pull the fibs over here and you'll eventually see like important areas of support and resistance. But a lot of people are going to be pressed during this range because things aren't moving fast enough, because everybody is going to want to see 93,000 or 95,000 to above 110,000. That's important to note. Okay. So the reason why I call it the range of hell is because you're going to have to be patient. If you're somebody who cannot sit on your hands, cannot be patient, you're going to get absolutely wrecked. Okay. But we're talking about, with this article over here, we're talking about Bitcoin hitting $2.4 million by 2030. What are we, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30? 5 years. 5 years. This would be like 20 timesing. 20 timesing. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. Can Bitcoin hit that high? Well, right now, some of the things that I'm noticing, again, I've been in crypto since end of 2017. And, I've been here a while. There's people that have been here longer than me, and nothing but respect for the OGs. You always got to give the OGs respect, even if you don't like them and they came for you on the internet because they're rude and mean and nasty. I digress. But I do respect them that they were here longer than me. So Bitcoin used to operate on this 4-year cycle with Bitcoin halvening, and then we get altcoin season, but we get a little pre-bump before that, whether it be like with DeFi or just these random sectors. Okay. So we kind of already saw that happen, but we really haven't had an altcoin season. And it's been a year anniversary since the halvening, and Bitcoin is still trading above $90,000, which is absolutely wonderful. But the cycles are changing. They're changing. They're not doing what they're supposed to do. This might piss a lot of people off, but we might not get another altcoin season like we saw before. And if we do, it will be the last one. I think that crypto is going to start trading like stocks. Bitcoin will kind of mimic gold to an extent, and things are going to be a lot different. Again, I could be 100% wrong, and that's fine. I can be 100% wrong, but I'm just this is just kind of what I'm seeing. Okay. Bitcoin was created for and by the people back in 2008 because of the housing crash. And now we are seeing Bitcoin kind of take on this really interesting role in traditional finance. Okay. We've got banks that want to buy it. We've got BlackRock. We've got TradFi institutions. We have hedge funds. We have governments. And we're seeing a lot of article headlines that are saying, TradFi is more interested in Bitcoin than retail. And that's not true. That's not true. Retail is just as interested in Bitcoin as these guys. We just don't have the capital that they have, because these guys, TradFi, hedge funds, the banks, the governments, whatever, they get to create traditional financial products to create money out of thin air. That retail, we're not able to do that. This is why I like to push back so heavily against the accredited investor law, because it's predatory. A small business can't just go issue a stock. It doesn't work that way. TradFi can, though. They do bonds, they do stocks, they do buybacks, they do all these different things. Okay? All these different things. Doing exactly what Michael Saylor's doing. Strategy's doing. Then there's a Solana company. They're doing the same. And more people are doing this. Retail doesn't have access to those services, though. We're not able to do that. So we buy Bitcoin differently. There's a lot of interest with us. We just can't afford to do what these guys are doing. Okay. We take a look at altcoins. Now, when we're taking a look at altcoins, I think that the altcoin season is going to look a lot different. I think the winners are going to be the ones that get spot ETFs approved. Those are going to be the ones. And we might see some nice parabolic action with that. But we might not see an altcoin season like we've seen in the past. That's just my personal opinion, okay? But to say that Bitcoin could surge to $2.4 million by 2030, this is crazy. I don't know if this is going to happen, but at the same time, if you are able to create a product out of thin air, then that product that you could buy that product with, or you can raise dollars that you can just make, print to an endless end, then use those dollars, use that infinite asset to buy a finite asset. We could see Bitcoin hit $2.4 million. I wouldn't rule it out in the next 5-6 years. Why? Because you're taking an infinite asset to buy a finite asset, which is freaking crazy. Like, it's crazy. Traditional finance is crazy. It's wild. So I wouldn't be surprised if this happens. I really, really wouldn't. And again, the difference between like Bitcoin and an XRP and like a Solana is we have a finite supply here. We don't have a finite supply with a lot of that stuff. Okay. So I wouldn't rule this out for happening. I have no issue. I'm not selling my Bitcoin at all. I will be selling all of my Ethereum this cycle. I'm done with it. Absolutely done with it. Posted a video for you guys yesterday with Charles H. talking about Ethereum dying in 10 to 15 years. You should go watch it. It's a really, really good video, and I agree with him. In his bull case, ARK Invest prices could claim to reach $2.4 million, which is a 2,400% increase. Bear case revised from $300,000 to $500,000, and a base case revised from $710,000 to $1.2 million. The updated model uses Bitcoin's active supply, leading to price targets 40% higher than previous predictions. Sorry, my baby daddy's texting me about our daughter. He's crazy. He's absolutely crazy. Not in a bad way, but he always lets her have her hair down all the time, which is fine. But they go and they do all these crazy activities, which is wonderful. I love it. But she doesn't like knots. Like she has like an itty bitty knot. She'll cry and like, ah. But if he wants to deal with it and brush her hair, good for them. I just don't do that. We do like pigtail braids or braids, all kinds of stuff, because we do protective styles because we don't want knots. But he does what he wants to do. That's fine. That's his business. He's a great dad. But he's a little bit wild for that. And all the girl dads, you guys know what I'm talking about. Anyways, we'll see what happens. Either way, I'm not going to be selling my Bitcoin at all, any way, shape, or form. Now, Arkham put out this post, which is a little bit misleading. BlackRock is accumulating. They now hold 2.77% of the entire Bitcoin supply. They bought 1.2 billion of Bitcoin this week. I want to remind you, these types of headlines here, okay, these types of headlines over here, they're not necessarily bad, but BlackRock is not buying Bitcoin to hold themselves. They're buying on behalf of their customers. They are not like a sovereign wealth fund. They're not what a strategy does. They're not a government. They are buying Bitcoin on behalf of their clients, client demand, because they have to back the spot ETFs 1-to-1 or the futures or whatever it is. They have to actually have those assets. They can't just sell these and be like, hey, we've got our clients put all this money to buy this and we actually don't have the supply. They have to back it up because of regulation. So this is bullish that we're seeing people enter back into the crypto markets after the big sell-off, but it's not BlackRock that's holding Bitcoin. Well, it's not BlackRock that's accumulating. They're accumulating on behalf of their clients, which is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Just saying, okay? Now, this story over here, BlackRock says Bitcoin is already decoupled from tech stocks over the long run. If you zoom out, Bitcoin thrives when you have more uncertainty. And they're correct. They're correct. Also, too, Bitcoin is manipulated. Why is it manipulated? Well, it's manipulated because it's a finite asset. And when you have people like institutions buying on behalf of their clients like BlackRock, you've got strategy that are literally creating financial products, taking debt out and using fake value money that's printed out of thin air to buy a finite asset. Come on now. Okay, let's go ahead and listen to this clippy clip. I'm going to do the speed 2 times because my ADHD, and plus we don't know if I'm going to start crying. Who even knows anymore? Who just knows? I didn't even get a chance to brush my hair today. Well, I kind of did.
from U.S. tech stocks. Many are talking about sell U.S. assets kind of behavior in the global markets. Do you think this is the moment?
Well, crypto over the long run is decoupled from U.S. tech stocks. I think what you have to look at is, are you looking on a short-term basis or are you looking over a longer-term basis? Over a short-term basis, you can see all types of different assets have rising correlations to each other. And in fact, if you look at the last few weeks under more market uncertainty, you've seen everything from stocks and bonds to crypto trading with higher correlations. But if you zoom out, you tend to see the kind of longer-term fundamental thesis of something like Bitcoin really drive it to behave differently than traditional assets. The long-term correlation between U.S. stocks and Bitcoin is more like 0.2 or 0.3. It's a lowly correlated asset. And it's because what drives stocks, which tends to be things like higher growth, higher certainty, lower geopolitical risk, many of those things actually are kind of opposite drivers for Bitcoin. Bitcoin thrives when you have more uncertainty and are looking for something that's going to behave differently. So fundamentally, this should behave like an uncorrelated asset. And I think as we continue to see more time play out in this uncertain environment, you will see a dispersion between these assets.
Yeah, so Jay, what we're talking about here is crypto or Bitcoin as alpha, right? Uncorrelated assets and also returns. So directionally, tell me, right, if this tariff situation globally, right, doesn't resolve itself, drags on, or fingers crossed, gets worse, right? We can probably expect stocks to take a further leg down, bonds to go down to dollars as well, and for crypto and Bitcoin to continue going up. Would that be fair?
We would think over the long term, if this is the trajectory of kind of greater uncertainty around the world, that things like gold and things like Bitcoin should continue to go up. It is this type of uncertainty where people are looking for alternatives, parts of their portfolio, they're going to behave separately from stocks and bonds. We've seen it in the flows. We've seen it in how investors are positioning. We've seen significant inflows into gold ETFs. We've seen significant inflows into Bitcoin. And this is all because people are looking for those assets that will behave differently.
So let me ask you, right? I mean, it'd be easy to sort of pin it on the president and the trade war, right? But this whole diversification away from traditional assets and into things like gold and also like crypto, right? Probably began 3-4 years ago, or at least 2-3 years ago, right? Because a lot of people pinpoint Russia's most recent invasion of Ukraine and how $300 billion worth of Russian central bank money got seized and is sitting somewhere in Belgium right now as a trigger for countries like China, say, to stop recycling their surplus into treasuries, or not as much, and more into things like gold and into crypto. I mean, that's fair, right?
Well, if you look at a few things, one is if you look at central banks around the world, a continued movement towards diversification beyond just holding dollars is something that's been happening for decades. So the switch from just holding dollars to holding gold to looking at other types of assets like Bitcoin is a trend that's been years in the making. I think if you take a step back, at BlackRock in 2023, we released our new framework for thematic investing called Mega Forces. And that was the first time we really identified geopolitical fragmentation as a mega force that is driving the world forward over the next several decades. This is materializing in a lot of different ways. It is geopolitical risk between countries. It is materializing in policies like reshoring in the United States. And I think directly related to that geopolitical fragmentation megaforce has been the rise of things like Bitcoin as people see more destabilization in geopolitics, resulting in the need for more alternative assets.
Okay, so let's go ahead and kind of break down what was said here, because I do think that it is very, very important. Basically, it's a lot of jargon for geopolitical uncertainty. We've got the tariff war going on. We've got high inflation. We have war. We just are in a very uncertain time. Okay, a very, very uncertain time. We don't know exactly. We're like in this really big shift. And again, we are seeing kind of like a great reset happen with the money supply as well. Everything is merging over from cash to we're going to get CBDCs. That's what it is. That's what all these stable coins are and stuff like that. So I do agree with him. He said it very eloquently. He said it very textbook-like. I appreciate the take. I like it. And it is true. We are seeing people segue into Bitcoin because it's a different option than gold. Gold is great, fantastic, but it's harder to take gold with you. God forbid there's an emergency. Again, when we had the fires in Los Angeles, I thank God I was not in the midst of everything. Thank God. I'm very, very lucky. However, I had a client event that I had to go to. I called the Uber. I step outside, a fire 2 to 4 blocks down this way, and another fire right over the hill from my house. So what did I do? I was able to grab necessities, and we had to wait till the fire. Thank God the fire department came here. But the moral of the story is I wouldn't have been able to take gold with me, large amounts of gold. I was able to take whatever crypto I have in the house, which is not a whole lot because I have all the heavy stuff elsewhere, places that I don't even know where they are. Other people know where it is because of good OPSEC. Moral of the story is people want to invest in Bitcoin. They want to invest in a speculative asset because no one knows what the hell's going to happen. No one knows. So I agree with them. Absolutely agree with him. My house is fine. Everything is fine. I even have one of those silly pool pumps that we can use as a fire hose because God forbid. And I'll let the neighbors and stuff know. The moral of the story is Bitcoin is a great asset. For geopolitical uncertainty, if you're in a territory that is ridden with war and with tyranny and all kinds of stuff that happens. Okay. So people like Bitcoin. I like Bitcoin. I think it's great. I don't think Bitcoin is a savior. I don't think it'll fix everything, but I do think that it will help with quite a few things. Okay. With quite a few things. Now, with that being said, will Bitcoin hit $2.4 million in 2030? It could. It really, really could. Because again, if you're taking all of this cash that you can continue to print and create out of thin air and using it to buy a finite asset, hell yeah, that price is going to go up. You bet your bottom dollar, honey. Next story over here. Most of BlackRock's $2.5 billion tokenized fund is held by 4 wallets. Here's why. This is actually very interesting. Let's go ahead and read it. So BlackRock's head of equity ETFs, Jay Jacobs, said Bitcoin is a long-term lower correlation asset to U.S. stock techs. He said short-term volatility may align with assets, but Bitcoin behaves differently, especially times of global uncertainty, which again, that's what Bitcoin was created for times of global uncertainty. Bitcoin and gold seem as hedges amid rising macro geopolitical instability, and Jacobs attributes these mega forces to, oh, I'm sorry, that was one before. I'm sorry. Sorry, guys, my mind is in a million places right now. So, BITL, which is the RWA fund, which again, BlackRock, RWAs. The fact that BlackRock is so interested in RWAs should be important to you, and you should pay attention to projects that also focus on RWAs. Hedera is a really, really great one. Ondo. The list goes on. Again, check CoinMarketCap, made in the USA. So BITL is a tokenized money market fund, and it grew to $2.5 billion since 2024 launch. It invests in low risk, high liquidity assets like U.S. Treasury bills and cash, but it is an RWA. It's all tokenized. Grayscale Michael Sunnison claims around 80% of the assets of BITL are held in 4 wallets, claims that 2 wallets belong to Athena, a DeFi protocol. Third largest wallet belongs to Maker Protocol's lending arm, Maker DeFi project. Again, AI, DeFi, RWAs. Spark. The 4th largest holder is Crypto Relief Fund, and the fund is launched by Polygon co-founder Sandeep to raise funds for charities during the panorama. And again, this is a pretty interesting thing. RWAs, pay attention to it. There's really no I don't have to continue to shill you why you need to pay attention to RWAs, but if BlackRock is interested in it and there's legitimate projects that are focusing on that are RWA heavy, you should kind of pay attention to them. And I would also pay attention to all the stuff all the crypto projects that are affiliated with BITL. Okay. Now, this right here is another important story. So the White House receives over 10,000 comments on AI development plan. We know that President Trump is pushing hard for AI. We know that it's like pretty much a go area with the SEC, and AI is not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. Anytime soon. But stakeholders in OpenAI, Meta, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, academia, and industry groups, and the key focus is needed for U.S. energy investment, enhanced AI infrastructure, and global AI infrastructure. And there's a call for open, innovative AI framework with safeguards for individuals. The plan says AI regulation is crucial for U.S. interests, and he's 100% right. We, United States of America, kind of missed the boat with a lot of the tech stuff, and we've been on the back end for a while. China has been kicking our absolute behinds. They have, it's true. They've been kicking our butts over here. So Trump's like, you know what? We got to do this. We got to get AI going on. Also true, Trump did sign an executive order to advance AI education for American youth. Public-private partnerships will enhance K through 12 AI education. They'll integrate AI tools into classrooms. Good, we should. Let me finish this, and I'm going to give a hot take on this. Secretary of Education will prioritize AI in teacher training. The executive order directs Secretary of Labor to boost AI apprenticeships and workforce training during using WIOA funding. There will be efforts to create AI course opportunities for high school students. I love it. That is the exact area that needs to be targeted. Junior high, high school, community college. There will be efforts to create AI course opportunities for high school students. I just said that. I'm an idiot. And there will be a focus on fostering early AI skills to maintain U.S. leadership in global tech innovation. This is outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. And if you didn't know, Hedera actually has resources for this. So if you're interested in learning more about Hedera's AI agent kit, highly, highly, highly recommend. They are super big on involving anybody who's interested in it. And this is going to be their GitHub over here. You can go ahead and read all the different things that Hedera has to offer on. And again, this is all free information. This is free education that Hedera is allowing you to use. And again, Hedera, DeFi, AI, RWAs, and AI development, which is great. Plus the AI agent kit, it's open source toolkit. It simplifies the integration of AI agents and frameworks into the Hedera network, and document discusses functionalities, purpose, features, use cases, more. They have demo videos, and they have their GitHub hub as well. So if you want to get started with AI and at least get a basic head start, this is free information for you guys. This is free education, and this is powered by Hedera. Hedera is a channel partner, but I wanted to segue what Hedera is doing with AI into that particular initiative because AI is not going anywhere. It's going to continue to grow. And yes, there is a real fear about AI taking jobs, 100%. It will take jobs. If you do not know how to effectively use AI or integrate it in your current workflow, your job will get gone. Now, I want to go back and I want to talk about AI in schools. Okay. People are saying that AI is going to replace teachers. It could, but you still need one. There's some fields that you need to have you need to have a real person there. And AI is not good enough to fix customer service. Customer service sucks. But I think it is very, very important that we are pushing this initiative forward to educate our kids. So if you've got kids and you're into crypto, check out what Hedera has to offer. You don't want to, if you don't like Hedera, you don't have to do whatever it is. But there's a lot of crypto companies that are offering free educational tools and kind of going to help you set these things up. Pay attention to them and put yourself ahead. But AI most definitely is going to take over quite a few things in the world. And you better learn now, and you better start your kids now. Now, this right here, we talked about it. I talked about it yesterday in the second media. Did I talk about it yesterday? Oh no, the Charles H thing is coming. Okay, Cardano's coming out today about the death of Ethereum. Watch that. It's going to come out around 2:30 today. I talked about this yesterday. So the US SEC delays decisions on Polkadot and Hedera ETFs as agency weighs dozens of crypto protocols. It's not denying it. It's just delaying until I think June 10th or 11th. This is actually a good thing. Why is this a good thing? It's a good thing because Paul Atkins, who's giving a speech right now, I will cover that tomorrow on the live stream. But but we have a brand new SEC chair, and I think they just want to make sure that they approve these things the right way. There's the proper disclosures, and everything is done the correct way. So this isn't bearish for Polkadot. It's not bearish for Hedera. These ETFs are being recognized. The SEC just needs a little bit more time to approve them. We don't have any crypto spot ETFs yet outside of Ethereum, and the SEC just needs to make sure that they're doing the right thing. Now, if you're not paying attention to made in USA coins, you need to. That's exactly what this is telling you. This is actually very bullish, and this is telling me DOT ETF is going to get approved, and so will HBARs. Also, Bitwise just officially registered a near ETF in Delaware. Now let's go ahead and talk about XRP. What the hell? What is this going on over here? XRP records significant user growth, which is bullish for XRP. XRP ledger activity spikes, hinting at growing adoption, renewed market interest. I love this story. I'm going to read you a couple titty bitties from this. And then I have another really important story for you guys from Brad Garlinghouse. So active XRPL wallets spiked to 30,000 late last month, dropped to around 10,000 last week, and the spike reportedly linked to dApps and new banking partnerships. Garlinghouse, incredibly important, exciting step in the continued growth of the XRP market. Basically, he's talking about how CME Futures Group will launch XRP futures on May 19th, pending regulatory approval. And I like that he's coming out and he's talking about this. It's good. And he says, while overdue in a bunch of ways, this is incredibly important, exciting step in the continued growth of the XRP market. It's getting approved. It is getting approved 100%. And I'm excited for it. Very, very, very excited for it. And I wanted to drop this little titty bitty here on RLUSD by Ripple. And because again, Aave, Maker, and Curve are like the original DeFi protocols. And now you can go ahead and utilize RLUSD, which is a stable coin of Ripple here. So the growth went from 0 to 76 million in 4 days. And we love to see it. We absolutely love to see it. What else? I'll cover these later. Oh, this is a good one. SEC drops Dragon Chain lawsuit and latest crypto enforcement reversal. Congratulations to Dragon Chain. We love to see that. Now, on that note, you guys, I am going to get, thank you, John. I appreciate it. .ETF when dot is quiet and idle, so confusing to me. Let's go ahead and talk about the way ETFs work. So ETFs have nothing really to do with the project. They're traditional financial companies that generally come in and they apply on behalf, like to launch these. So it really doesn't have a whole lot to do with the actual product, like, or the actual maker, the builders or whatever. But anyways, we have bullish news for Hedera, for DOT, for XRP, for RLUSD, and Bitcoin. That's the show for today. I'm starting to feel sick, so I'm going to go. But I got a second media piece coming out for you guys, so make sure you watch it. Thank you guys so much for supporting me. If you haven't used my code to go to Bitcoin Bitcoin 2025, make sure to do so. But I feel sick. I think I have to throw up or go cry or something. Anyway, sending y'all love and light. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Okay, bye.